Now, last time out, we took on the Dutch Grand Prix at Zandvoort as Jarno Opmeer for his home race, of course, in front of his home crowd. It was a tough race weekend. 110 AI really were noticeable, and it was a lot of fun and a huge challenge. We came away from that one with some positive feedback. If you guys want to see exactly what happened, then go check out the episode, guys. It will be linked in the top right on screen. Now you can see there was actually a development where a surprise mystery driver actually stepped forward and offered their services for next season. So we had 4 drivers on the go, including Nicholas Solov here, but there was one more driver who actually said, you know what, I'm interested in 97 Racing and I want to be a part of that project for Season 2 in 2026. If you guys want to see exactly who that is, go check out the last episode as we jump into Nikola Solov endgame talks. Now, this is huge. Nikola is basically ready to re-sign for Season 2, and these are going to be his terms. Now, there's a few surprising ones here. Number 1, performance clause removed. Annual salary request reduced by 5%. His chance to sign at 80%, fan rating level 2, 160 workforce. We basically are meeting all of his demands right now. So, yeah, if we want Solov, it's basically right there, but there's more news ahead.
Big day. The team feel we now have enough info following our talks with possible drivers that we can now start negotiating contracts. Drivers who we've had at least an early meeting with may now be receptive to discussing a contract. Time to get things ready for next season.
Now, the interesting thing here is we could potentially pursue other drivers, but this is the shortlist for Season 2, barring any changes. So, Jarno Opmeer, Nikola Solov, Nico Hulkenberg was the man who stepped forward last episode to offer himself for next season, and we have preliminary discussions with Franco Colapinto and Liam Lawson. So guys, get commenting. What do you think? What do you fancy for next season? It's really open. Me personally, I still can't quite decide, but I will say one thing. You guys have been very vocal in the comments in the last episode, and Hulkenberg looks like a certain lock for Season 2 if we can continue those discussions. Now, here's our 2 drivers. Jarno is very disappointed in the owner choices because Solov's had the better of the upgrades, just because Solov has been the weaker driver on paper. So Jarno's amicable, whereas Solov is feeling good. Now, the news has got out from that negotiation with Nikola, and the paddock knows. So the vibe might be that they know there's going to be a seat gone in our team, so that second seat might be fought for. But to be fair, that's what this article says and what the paddock says, but you guys can decide, and this is completely wide open in my opinion. So I want to leave all my options on the table. You can see here on the fan rating, the last one, the perception with all drivers plus is huge, because basically that's attracting interest from other drivers from other teams. So that's a really good sign. Then elsewhere, in terms of the ranking of the fan rating versus other teams, we are still 8th, but we are very close to level 4, and once we get there, we're going to be kind of in the same category as Alpine, Williams and Aston Martin. Now, we are flying high right now. We've got 3 white triangles on top of our little green signal, so we're doing really well, and yeah, we are cooking away. So I can't lie, I'm gassed. Now we jump into research. We've received the research for the MGUH. We're now going to do the control electronics to start out today's upgrades, and then we move over to some other developments. Now for this one, chassis wise, we have received an upgrade, so we're going to go ahead and basically do the improved energy store cell, and we're going to get those rocking and rolling. The ECU has finished on the powertrain, and we have finished our engine upgrades for the time being, so that's something we need to invest in now and try to work on some engine upgrades. Now we have a short turnaround between Monza and Zandvoort, or Zandvoort to Monza more like, so we're going to basically do a secondary sponsor discovery event in corporate to basically try and find again more sponsors and more cash for the team. So moving on.
Hey Chief, we've finished developing a part and it's now ready for fitting. Make sure to stop by the assign upgrade screen when you get the chance.
Now we've received the powertrain breakthrough, which basically means we have unlocked a new tier of engine upgrades which were locked before. So that's really good. We can start to push forward now on engine upgrades as we go into the facility updates. Now we have the quality of life improvements on the way for durability, but we have space for one more. We can do 2 at a time across all 3 departments pretty much. So for this one, we are going to go for the 3D printing prototyping, which basically is going to reduce research time by 15%, which is pretty big. So we're going to get that cooking away in the background, and that will arrive in 13 days time, so just under 2 weeks. Now with that out of the way, we have more research done. This time we have an aero upgrade, so we're going to basically search for the most discounted upgrade, and this one's going to be the aero for the DRS. That's going to help us out quite a bit. Then in other departments, if we delve into the development side of things, here is the rear wing upper flap we just researched. So we're going to do a dual development and get that cooking away, and that will arrive after Baku. And then we have a small update on the sponsor front. In the last 2 episodes, we've unlocked new variants for Savant and Aperture. You can see on the front nose here the Aperture logo, the eye symbol with the kind of round logo design, and also Savant on a green background, which look very nice. So here I am just basically readjusting and tweaking delivery, you know, and just kind of gradually, constantly evolving it with these new sponsors on the car. Now, we are ready to go to the weekend. This one we are racing, of course, as Nicola Solov, having driven as Jarno last episode at his home Grand Prix in Zandvoort. Now, the forecast is interesting. We have rain in the race, and it's only one icon, but that could produce a little bit of chaos. Qualifying will be dry. Elsewhere, we have the performance chart, and this is the first time I actually get to really show you guys how things look. And you can see here, we're actually pretty different in terms of both of our cars, and both our drivers have significantly different machines. So we'll delve into that in more detail in the next episode, but I finally found that, which was really exciting. In the championship, both of our drivers are in the top 10, and yeah, we're looking pretty good as well in the top 5 in the constructors. Now for this one, power circuit, we are going to have to freshen up the components on Solov's car, and I kind of wish I'd done this before in the menu, because I could have changed Jarno's as well, and he's going to be struggling with a bit of a worn engine for this event, but alas, it is what it is. Small mistake on mine. There's a lot of admin to do, and sometimes you forget or miss things, you know, because there's so much you have to get done. And in this case, I missed replacing Jarno's engine part, so he's going to be struggling, I think, this weekend. For us, though, we've got full power available, so hopefully we can give Solov a decent performance and some points to come with it. Now, we finish our first program, the time management, and we're going to get just a purple score over the line, just beating the Delta whilst keeping our tyre wear in the purple. We then jumped into some race simulations, and those went trouble-free. Medium tyre working really well, and suffering with understeer, a bit like in Zandvoort yet again, but nowhere near as chronic. As we cross over the line, we do get also a maximum purple score, done all 5 laps as well for maximum data. Tyre wear, you can see, looks pretty good, but the pace kind of fell away a bit as we went through the stint, so quite a bit of drop-off in lap time. We then jumped into the qualifying simulations, and at one point I was purple by a pretty big margin here, but the Delta was quite strong on some of the straights, and it indicated that we're lacking a bit of engine power, because we are running a fresh engine and I'm running 2.0 wings, and we're losing time on the straight, so that indicates lack of engine power. Anyway, that done, we missed the target. We got a red score on the qualifying pace, and I'm not going to burn sets of tyres or waste my engine on this one, so we'll give that one a pass. So we aren't going to get maximum points in practice, but still top 5 on softs, decent pace. Antonelli on pole in his home Grand Prix, and yeah, not too shabby. You can see we pick up a decent chunk of R&D points, but not the maximum, 450 to be exact. And yeah, with that, we're now going to jump into qualifying and see how we get on.
They call it the Temple of Speed, and the pilgrims have come to worship. It's all about the speed today. Qualifying awaits us. Welcome to Monza for the Italian Grand Prix.
Now, into Q1 then, soft tyres on our car, and we're straight in with our banker lap. Now, to be fair, this was actually a pretty solid banker. It was really good, committed, aggressive, but, and there's always a but, we encountered traffic, which feels like the 5th or 6th time this has happened now in qualifying this season. I feel like it's been quite frequent that we encounter an AI car at the wrong time on our time lap. And in this case, it was Oscar Piastri who did just enough there that I had to hesitate and just dab on the brakes out of Ascari, which, you know, cost you time all the way down the straight to Parabolica. So we do a 1:19.1, we go P9, which was a bit low-key. So we're going to have to go again as we took a quick cooldown lap. We're going to go for another push. And we're going to try to look to find some time on top of the lost time there with Piastri. Now straight away, turn 1, a little bit crossed up with some rear locking, but we make it work and actually rotate the car quite nicely. And we find a couple of tenths already. We then manage that advantage into Ascari, where we got blocked. And we're going to get a clean run and find about 0.3 of a second, which that's how much we lost. And yeah, we now just have one more corner to tackle to keep this lap together. Into the last corner, 5th gear, tighten that up through Parabolica, and then try and keep a tighter line as we want to reduce the distance. Over the line we go, and it's going to be a 1:18.6 for P11, and that is a bit more like it as we box. Jarno is last, way off the pace with that worn engine, and we are P11 with Solov, and we have about 0.4 margin over Fernando. Actually, half a second to be fair over Fernando. So I think we're safe, and we're not going to go out, and we are indeed going to finish P12. The big one there, Oscar Piastri, just scrapes in P16, so he narrowly makes it. Jarno does improve but finishes bottom. Hulkenberg, keep an eye on him as well. At qualifying, Bortoletto, Lawson out in Q1 as well. And yeah, that's your Q1 running. So into Q2, fresh set of softs on our car for this one, because I think the pace is going to be close to make it into Q3. And we're going to need both fresh sets in this one to get through. And we go P14. But to be fair, the banker is quicker than our Q1 best time by about 200. So it's not a bad banker lap by any means, but the AI have just leveled up and found a couple of tenths. So yeah, it's not looking as good. So we're under pressure to get through. We need to find nearly half a second. So let's send it and see what happens. Well, you know what? I'm not mad about that. That was a good lap. P13, that just basically was more or less the maximum, really. Annoying because we lost a little bit in the midpoint of the lap. I'm talking a very little bit. And I don't know if there was 800ths to get through, but we were only 800ths off Antonelli. Very close qualifying there between Solov, Piastri, Doohan, Antonelli. And yeah, in the end, Kimi gets through. Behrman into Q3, Stroll into Q3, Sainz in P4, and the Williams into Q3. So yeah, that's going to be your qualifying order, and we now head into the race. So it looks like points are up for grabs, so of course we have that rain as well. So a few wild cards in motion. Either way, let's get to it, and let's see how we get on for the Italian Grand Prix here at the Temple of Speed. Well, you know what? I'm not mad about that. That was a good lap. P13, that just basically was more or less the maximum, really. Annoying because we lost a little bit in the midpoint of the lap. I'm talking a very little bit. And I don't know if there was 800ths to get through, but we were only 800ths off Antonelli. Very close qualifying there between Solov, Piastri, Doohan, Antonelli. And yeah, in the end, Kimi gets through. Behrman into Q3, Stroll into Q3, Sainz in P4, and the Williams into Q3. So yeah, that's going to be your qualifying order, and we now head into the race. So it looks like points are up for grabs, so of course we have that rain as well. So a few wild cards in motion. Either way, let's get to it, and let's see how we get on for the Italian Grand Prix here at the Temple of Speed.
Welcome to the home of the Parabolica, now known as the Curva Alboreto, in tribute to the Italian motorsport legend Michele Alboreto. It's a long right-hander. It dares you to keep your foot as far down on the throttle as you possibly can. It's one of the great corners on the calendar, and we're here at Monza ahead of the Italian Grand Prix. With top speeds reaching 215 miles per hour, only a few places can challenge Monza's crown as the fastest track in Formula One. Hard braking zones going into the 3 chicanes make up the majority of the 11 corners on this 3.6-mile circuit. And just in case the slipstream wasn't enough, 2 DRS zones will help encourage some close action. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Yuki Tsunoda completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Norris, Russell, Charles Leclerc, and Antonelli, Hamilton, Sainz, Stroll, and Ollie Behrman, Doohan, Piastri, Nicholas Soloff, and Gasly, Albon, Hadjar, Liam Lawson, and Fernando Alonso, Ocon, Hülkenberg, Bortoleto, and Jarno Opmeer completes the grid. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. Well, it's been a long time since I last worked with you. Good to see you again today, Anthony Davidson. Now, we had great fun watching them win last time out. What a great victory it was. But can they carry that into today's race?
It's the important one, isn't it, Crofty? You've done it once, can you do it again? But, you know, if you start believing in yourself and the confidence starts to build, that inner confidence is what you need. And you can carry that through to future races, including this one, and you set that ball rolling. That's the critical thing that they're looking for here. And I believe if you've got that first race win or a win at any stage, it can start to roll with you in a good way.
Temple of Speed, Monza, is on the agenda today. P13 on the grid. Points should be possible if we execute correctly. Now, Monza has been a track where historically the AI are a bit tricky and they're a bit dumb. So, in F1 24, you would often outsmart them by avoiding battles and pulling away at the right time. We're going to find out if that's the case. This is going to be a really good test to see if the AI have improved in this game with their wheel-to-wheel combat around this specific track. So, strategy for this one is interesting. We have that bit of rain, which could really change things and spice things up. So, I'm torn on what to go for. Now, both these strategies are personalized. Now, what I'm leaning towards here is starting on a set of mediums because I feel like this might be a more suitable option in terms of, you know, if the rain does arrive, then we can react accordingly. So we're going to go for a medium tire start with 0.2 laps of fuel like always. And yeah, the big thing today is finding out when that rain is going to arrive. So let's get into it, guys. Like the video and let's get into the race. Well, straight away, that medium tire choice was the right one because it seems like everybody is on mediums. So that's going to be good in terms of stint longevity. So I'm glad we've addressed that one straight away. Anyway, let's get to it. We're going to start adjusting the car settings here for the race start. Everyone's single file. We're just going to try and weed to keep a bit of tire temperature in the rubber. It'll burn out for good measure. And we are good to go. So let's line her up. And let's get to it. Right then, Italian Grand Prix. Subscribe for more. Lights on. Oh my god, what a start. That might be the best one of the season so far. We're going to get a little bit boxed in here, so not much we can do. Just trying to avoid getting wing damage. Got Behrman on the hard tyres here that I want to get past, and we do. And we are straight into 9th, into the points. We've got Sainz here. A little bit slow. We're going to try and get through. Side by side with the Williams as we head down to the chicane. Sainz backs out, so thank you very much. But we have a bit of a moment there on the curb. We'll stay ahead of Sainz, but that was a bit of a costly error in terms of time. We've got to try and catch back up here to Antonelli. But we are P8. What a start. 5 places gained. One of the better launches this season. Just found insane traction off the line. Sainz is having a look here, but we'll have enough to keep him at bay for now. Just got to try and stick with Antonelli. He's on that hard tyre. Russell as well. Sainz will be pretty quick, but then relative to the hard runners, we should have good pace. I was debating going hard because of the rain, but I'm going to trust that it will arrive during this medium tyre stint. So let's try and latch on up front. Verstappen already putting daylight between everybody, so he's running away.
DRS now enabled. DRS enabled.
Behrman Sainz battling behind, swapping around. They're now battling in front as well. Looks like 3 wide to me. And it's the 2 Ferraris with Lando Norris. So that brings us right back into play. So let's see then. The AI already showing signs of time loss in battle, but let's see how it evolves.
No need to worry about the tyre condition for now. Everything's looking good.
Oh my god, the amount of moving and direction changing happening in front. Big puff of smoke there, which I missed my apex because of it, but these guys are really battling.
Okay, we don't think we're far away from rain now. I'll keep you updated as conditions change.
Okay. Very good to know. Intermediate selected. Oh wow, it's raining already. Wowza, that was quick. Absolutely rapid. So we could have actually started on the softs, to be fair. The original strategy was spot on. Right, well now we're going to see. I actually lost DRS there, which is a little bit of a shame. They've changed the placement of the DRS detection zone in this track this year. So before it used to be on the entry of the last corner, now it's as you approach the pit street. You can see on the map there, a little green dot. So something I didn't notice, to be fair. But let's see. Let's see what this rain has in store.
Okay, so this light rain is going to be with us for a while now. Dries definitely seem like the fastest tyre at the moment.
Okay, so it'll be enough for the intermediates then, if it's here for a while. Oh, a bit wide there, a bit deep. Now the grip's starting to fade a little bit. Also, I am struggling to hold on to these guys ahead. Hamilton's on mediums. I think he's starting to fade a little bit as well, but they have started to battle less now ahead, so I'm struggling to keep up because they're behaving quite well. So we have lost DRS for the time being. Ooh, that snap didn't feel too good. There's still decent grip though, in general. Very slow transition. Wow, big pinch from, I think, Norris to Antonelli. We've got back in as they've been battling throughout the lap. The field's definitely spread out some more now, so yeah, this is fine.
Okay, track conditions aren't improving. It's your choice as to whether you want to fit full wets next time you come in.
Yeah, it's still dry. It's only 2 seconds off on that last lap, pace-wise, you know, so it's still very much dry tyres, but we'll see how things evolve on this lap. Sonoda's in, Gasly in as well, but they're going for another set of dry tyres, so that's going to be suicide. Strategic suicide. I think this could be the lap for the intermediates though. This definitely could be the lap. Otmir's done it as well. That's devastating. Verstappen's in, but I think these guys are going for dries. Oh, that didn't feel great. I'm gonna go one more, and I might...
It's still not a perfect situation, but I don't think we've got cause to move on to a different tyre yet. Okay, the pit window's open, so let's box this lap. Box this lap.
The Mercs have pulled an absolute blinder by going onto the hard tyre this race. They can go long and wait. This will be a late call if we commit or not. I think it is the lap though. I think this is the one. I'm going to go for it. This is going to be the interchange. Top 3 staying out for what looks like to be a one-stop. We're going to go for that intermediate and roll the dice and see if this pays off. There's potentially a win, potentially a podium up for grabs if this plays out. So let's see. We need a good stop. 2.4, lovely jubbly. Well done. Right, let's get a weather update as soon as possible. Out the pit lane as we rejoin.
Okay, stay clear of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track.
Racing Gasly here at pit exit. No idea what the grip levels are going to be like, so cautiously braking. Oh, it doesn't feel too grippy.
Light rain will stay with us for at least 20 minutes, maybe more. Light rain is here to stay. Okay, dries seem like the best tyre for now.
Right then, let's find out. Let's see what the grip levels are saying. Doesn't feel as good as I thought. Gasly is still sitting on the back of me, so it's probably still just dries. Probably 1 lap or 2 too early still, but I couldn't quite tell. I wanted to take that gamble to try and jump a few of the cars ahead of me. Gasly might go through here. DRS is still enabled, so if I can stick with Pierre, that'll be fine. So let's do that. Right, Hulkenberg in the pit lane. I think this lap we are seeing now the transition into intermediates. We're catching up to Lawson. He might get overtaken by Pierre and myself. There we go. Gasly doesn't commit properly. Lawson's using his battery. I'm going to brake a little bit early here. And even then, seems like Lawson's got an issue. Super slow through there. I'm going to get a warning for that. All good. AI are pitting. I think this is it. Here comes the inter switch. Let's see if I can just still nick some DRS off of Pierre Gasly before it gets disabled. Pierre staying out. There we go, we've got DRS, that's huge. And there it is, AI switching to Inter. Right, let's see. Once everyone boxes, we're ahead of Hamilton. So the undercut has worked on Lewis, unless he had a slow stop. But more cars will be pitting this lap. I'll say that actually, Hamilton's on mediums. Hamilton's gone for another set of mediums. Wow, okay, so mixed strategies from the AI. Some going into, some going for another set of dries. Antonelli onto intermediates in the pit lane. So the mixed strategies continue. And he's actually at pit exit, so we haven't undercut him. He's managed to stay ahead. It's a really weird race, this one, you know, in terms of conditions. I'm loving this, though. It's weird how both compounds are valid, though that time there I actually had quite a bit of grip. Didn't actually expect Gasly to struggle so much, and there it is. That's a big sign.
DRS has been disabled by the stewards. DRS will be offline. Wait for further updates.
Seems like finally now we've gone into interphase. My rears are hot. I'll show you now. You can see rears overheating. I've burnt them up a little bit in this drier phase, but hopefully we can try and get them under control. But yeah, we are now quicker than Pierre. We need to go through. The issue is the AI accelerates so much and my straight line speed isn't great, so it's hard to pass. Look at Antonelli just drive off. The AI absolutely just launch it out of there. I just can't pass right now. Maybe out of Parabolica. Although Pierre will likely box, I think. And there we go. Looks like everybody is in. So that brings us to P4. I assume Verstappen in P1, if that is Verstappen, is on inters. If he's on dries and has to box, then we're going to be net P3. Now it's all about trying to manage that rear tyre because we are still climbing in temperature, burning it up. Oh, look at that. Verstappen was on dries. He was on mediums. He's now in. So we're going to move into net P3 in this Italian Grand Prix. But now we have to contend with our issues on this tyre, which is easier said than done.
10 minutes left of this rain, then we think it's going to dry up. 10 minutes.
Okay, my God, there's going to be another twist in this one. This isn't over yet. So I don't think we're going to be cooling off these inters because it's not going to get any wetter. Verstappen, Piastri. Swap around as they start to battle. We are being caught rapidly. I'm super slow in these conditions. I just don't have any rear grip. Here's Verstappen then. Basically caught me up entirely through the Lesmos. Trying to hang on, but this will be tough. Oh, just managed to outbrake him there. This won't last long though. They are having incredible acceleration. There he goes. He's got the run. Oh, tried to match him on the braking there, but that didn't work. And now Piastri will follow. I don't really have a lot of barrier to fight, so I'll let Oscar go. We'll just sit behind, charge a little bit. Here comes Yuki. The AI just gets such a big run out of Ascari, it's ridiculous. I won't even fight it. I'm just trying to stay afloat here. Haven't heard an update on the conditions.
So we're looking at another 5, maybe 10 minutes of this rain. Inters look like the best tyre for now.
Looks like I might drop a few more places. Worst case scenario behind Behrman. The rears are slowly coming back down, which is encouraging, but it's going to start drying in a minute. And they're just going to go back up, which is a real shame. But I'm trying to drive as smooth as I possibly can. Leclerc's here. He'll be going by straight away. The AI's traction, acceleration is too much.
Okay, I think the track's going to be drying out quite soon. Be careful you don't burn out your tyres.
Come on then, I'm ready. Lando's flying in P9, which is a concern.
You should be feeling the effects of some tyre wear soon, so stay on your toes.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the left rear. I think we'll make it, but we're going to be just running low on tyre life and also running very high on tyre temp at the end if it dries out. Looks like we're seeing this one out in the intermediate. Bit of battling would not go to miss at this stage of the race, that's for sure. That's more like it. That's more like it. Although it seems like Norris has gone through though. Lando's going to get me here. I've got nothing to answer with. I'm inclined to gamble on dries if within the next lap it suddenly stops raining and dries. I've got a fresh set of softs which I can burn. Oh wow. Alonso out. Too late for a safety car though. You know what? Let's go for it. Let's gamble. Let's stay out.
Yellow flag.
I'm going to stay out hoping we can hang on to the tyres. Look at the heat though.
Green flag.
They're going to get fried. But my hope is they battle a little bit behind. We can try and hang on. At the minute, it seems like things have stabilised a little bit. I've now just gone flat out. I'm pushing on the limit. I don't care about tyre saving. I'm going to go and just go for broke. I'm going to try and get this P8 over the line. And we are the same pace, if not actually marginally quicker than Ollie Behrman. So if our tyres survive, we can bring this in P8 home, which would be huge. But you can see the tyre wear. We're going to be in puncture territory on the last lap, and our rears are fried. So we are hanging on here. The car feels okay though, just driving it very smoothly. That's the big game changer though. DRS now being enabled is going to...
DRS has been enabled. DRS is now enabled.
That's going to really open things up now, so we've got to make sure they don't get within our DRS. Oh, Hamilton's got through on Behrman. Verstappen's in. Verstappen's pit. I mean, it doesn't matter. He'll probably rejoin ahead of me, but that's big for the championship. Hamilton has also pit. So either some cars aren't making it, or they're feeling a dry tire is going to work. Either way, we get a reprieve. I thought Hamilton was definitely going to catch me now he was released. There is the left rear. We are now in puncture territory, so this is going to be a huge last lap. Behrman's getting on with it. Russell wins. We've got a healthy gap to Behrman, who lost a bit of time to Gasly battling. Just need the left rear to hold on, and we'll make it. Huge. What a result. Huge points. P8 will take that. Look at that tyre wear.
And that's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
We've seen a brilliant display of the Russell hustle. It's George Russell who wins.
To witness such mastery of these conditions, these changeable conditions that we saw today, is very impressive indeed. So a huge congratulations to this driver for taking victory today.
Well, I don't know about you, but I've absolutely loved watching that action today, and I'm sure these three have loved taking part. Here come our podium finishers. By George, he was good today. The top step awaits for George Russell.
what a result, what a finish. Mercedes get the 1-2, Tsunoda on the podium, the giant Tsunoda once again. Leclerc salvages P4 for Ferrari, but we bag P8 with Nikola Solov. What a crazy race. 1 stops, 2 stops, 3 stops for Verstappen and Hamilton. It was chaotic. At times the Inter was better, the dry was better. It had it all. We fried our Inters and we managed the entire stint with hot rears, and we kept a decent pace, and we bring home P8, which is excellent. So very happy to basically convert our dry weather position into the wet. And yeah, what a day for us. Jarno, I believe 3 stopped, and it was, you know, not great. Okay, 2 stopped to be fair, but still badly timed stops, both of them, and he finishes down in P19. Hulkenberg, Alonso at the back. Standings then after that Italian Grand Prix, Solov gains a couple of points and closes in on Jarno a little bit. That P9, P10 looks very healthy and locked in my opinion, with Williams and Aston and Alpine chasing behind, which means in the Constructors, the P5 is also locked in. So we're looking really good right now. Things are moving along nice, and yeah, I can't wait to see what's next. So either way, guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. On screen now, you're going to have the post-race fan rating adjustment from that one. The feedback should be good in terms of also, you know, acclaim from the fans and fan feedback. It should be all positive. I don't see why there'd be any negatives involved, and we should be hopefully moving along very nicely, very swiftly. So guys, cheers for watching. I'd massively appreciate a like on this video. Try and smash over 1,000 likes. Subscribe for more daily F1 content as well. And yeah, as always, a huge shout out to my members, new and old. Check out the 2 videos on screen for more content like this, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care, and let's go bye from me. Ciao, ciao.